So, Brian, then Mr. Smith says that he needs a bright young man, you know, like me, to work directly with him in the field.
Oh, really? And what did you say?
So I says, Frank, old buddy, okie dokie.
Well, it sounds like you just had yourself a great day.
Wait, I got more news, too.
What?
About Greg Talmadge. No, wait, Mike, this is good. This is good, Brian, because I brought it up with Laura, and she wasn't upset. She understood that I wasn't being jealous, that I was concerned that Greg could possibly have been the guy that raped her, and that I was just trying to protect her, right? I mean, you guys were right. The notebook was innocent.
Well, that's good. Well, how did it get here?
Well, she asked him to come over because they want to talk about Beverly's hang-ups. And as it turned out, he asked Beverly out, making one girl very happy, huh?
Who's that happy girl?
Well, you are, because your man is here.
Oh, come on, baby.
How you doing, babe?
All right, come on.
I want to invite Brian and Claudia to dinner, okay?
Well, no. Okay, that's terrific. That's even greater because I want to celebrate Frank Smith. I mean, the meeting couldn't have gone better.
Wow.
Good. That's,
Mr. Big Stuff.
That's terrific.
Huh? Wait, let me take this.
I want to hear all about it,
Okay, because I got a lot to tell you about this, okay? All right?
All right.
In the meantime, Brian, I got to tell you something else.
All right, hotshot, sit down and tell me.
So I was walking down the street, right?
And you saw him?
Huh? No, I didn't.
We had a meeting with him? That's the man. That's the man who walked past me and tipped his hat. It's the same man.
Bobby, I think these are ready for Mimeo.
Okay.
Mrs. Brewer, would you mind if I bothered Bobby for a few minutes? An urgent family matter.
No, of course not, Luke.
Luke,
Thank you, Jesse.
can I see you a minute?
Sure, Mr. Rennie.
I was kind of surprised to wind up my investigation of the disco with a piece of information the place was owned by Frank Smith.
Oh, yes. Most people are surprised at all the things he's into.
Yeah, well, there's obviously no more problem there. Any place that Frank Smith is connected with has to be on the up and up, doesn't it?
Of course. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take it easy.
Okay, come on. All right. You keep your mouth shut and listen to me. Whatever you do, don't yell, because I can't stand any more yelling. You have got to help me convince Scotty that Laura has got to go back to work at the disco.
No way.
What do you mean, no way?
No way, Luke. I am not going to do that.
You have to.
Who says? I am going to do everything I can to keep Scotty from ever letting Laura go back to work with you at the disco.
What are you trying to do to me?
What the hell do you think you're doing? You're trying to let Mr. Smith drag Scotty and Lee Baldwin into the legal affairs of the organization.
That's a lie.
Oh, really?
That is a lie. I had nothing to do with that. That's Smith's idea. Now, what am I supposed to do about his ideas? What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. But I am going to do everything I can to stop it.
Barbara, listen to me. Scotty and his father are both grown people. They can take care of themselves.
Then you admit it. It is Laura that you're worried about.
No. I'm worried about Laura. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about Aunt Ruby. Now, in order to save you, I have to save Laura. Now, don't give me any more of your silly little games. I need your help with Scotty, and you're going to give it to me. I've got 2 weeks to get her back to that disco, or else. Do you hear me, Barbara Cheney?
Luke?
Look, don't tear into me again, Bobby.
I won't. As a matter of fact, I came to see you to tell you that I'm sorry. When you told me yesterday that you needed help with Laura, I am really sorry that I turned you down. I realize now that I shouldn't. Because I also realized that if Laura decides to tell everything that she overheard in this office, it won't be just Laura who gets hurt. It'll be you, too.
And maybe you, Bobby. If we've learned anything about Mr. Smith and his friends, it's that they play for keeps.
Okay, so I'm here to do whatever you say.
Thanks, I'm fresh out of ideas. What about you? You got any thoughts? This is a big problem, little sister.
Well, actually, I have been thinking about this.
Yeah?
Yeah. And there just may be a way to get Laura back at the disco before Mr. Smith's time limit runs out. Now that Joanne Eden is working here, I think I can use that angle.
No, I don't follow that.
Luke, Joanne is the one person that Laura feels that she can confide in because they were both raped. Now, what if I go to Scotty and I try to convince Scotty that she needs the support of that relationship with Joanne? She needs to be near her friend, and that leaving her at home, locked up inside of that apartment, might only make Laura feel more withdrawn.
That sounds like a very good idea, Miss Spencer. Because it'd be a terrible thing for Mrs. Baldwin to wind up again in the park one night, this time dead.
Let me tell you one thing, Watson. Laura Baldwin is worth a lot more alive than she is dead. That is, if Mr. Smith wants everything he says he wants.
Like getting on the board of directors of General Hospital? Or didn't Mr. Smith mention that to you? Oh, as you know, Mr. Smith likes the image of a civic-minded person.
Yeah, sure.
It's going to be one big happy family. By the way, that hospital administrator, what's his name?
Dan Rooney.
Yeah, that's it. He's even called off his investigation of the disco.
Yes, I know that. He told me himself.
See the value of being a civic-minded leader?
Oh, sure. You can get away with murder.
If you're thinking about your boyfriend, no one in the organization touched Roy DeLuca. He was shot by a security guard at Mitch Williams' victory rally. Besides, Bobby, Mr. Smith doesn't like violence. Oh, unless, of course, it's necessary.
You send muscle after Laura Baldwin, you're making a big mistake.
Is that a threat, Luke?
That's a warning, Bill.
Look, guys, I said that I would try to get Laura to come back to work at the disco. Will you please let me try it?
Mr. Smith has set a 2-week time limit.
And you're acting as if the time limit has already run out. I don't like that, Mr. Watson.
Tell your little sister to cool it, Luke.
Well, I was rather enjoying it, actually.
I don't like your sense of humor.
I don't like you, period.
Guys, listen, will you stop? Now, whether we like it or not, it seems to me that we're all going to have to work together on this thing.
You've got just one job to do. Get Laura Baldwin back here at the disco working so we can keep an eye on her.
Listen, I don't want any of that we business. If Laura comes back here to work and she spots some of your boys around, she's going to run like a scared deer. You've already made a big mistake by putting a tail on her.
You'd like to handle her all by yourself.
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
Will you stop it? Actually, Mr. Watson, what I would like to know is why is Scotty Baldwin being dragged into this whole thing? He told me yesterday that Mr. Smith wants the Lee Baldwin law firm to handle some of his legal affairs. What's his pitch? To keep Scotty in line, too?
What else?
They are good, decent people, and they run a respectable law firm.
The respectable, the better.
Yeah, well, why are you on the payroll then?
Stop it, okay?
I'm going to forget you said that, Luke. But to answer your question, little lady, as you know, Mr. Smith likes to surround himself with class. Not only is that important, but having Scotty Baldwin and his father, a law firm like Lee Baldwin's outfit, it's a great protection against the feds. Who's going to question the law firm and the ethics of a law firm like Lee Baldwin's?
Well, I just wish that Laura could be with us for breakfast this morning so she could share your good news.
Well, she knows about it, but I thought that she should sleep because, well, she was kind of withdrawn last night.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean withdrawn?
Well, she was very quiet and very thoughtful. She said she was tired. You know, I can't really blame her because, I mean, she's been really doing a lot with cleaning up the apartment and going out and finding me the kind of food that I like to eat and stuff like that.
I bet she's happy, though, staying home now.
Well, I know I am.
Was she excited about your meeting with Mr. Smith?
Gail, she was stunned.
So was I when Lee told me about it.
Mr. Smith is an amazing man. I mean, is he not only interested in things that make money, but he's interested in just about everything.
Listen, he is a civic leader.
He certainly is. I mean, he's given a lot of money to this city, to our parks, to the Philharmonic, to the hospitals.
And he donated $50,000 to the Peter Taylor Memorial Foundation.
I know.
You know, years ago, there were some people asking questions about how he acquired so much wealth so quickly. They never found anything disreputable in what he did. Well, anyway, look here. He's the city's leading philanthropist.
I understand that he's the one who's largely responsible for financing the new civic auditorium.
That's right.
I mean, he brought culture back to our town.
He brought his daughter back to town, too.
Yes, I met her New Year's Eve.
You know, Scotty, I'm going to run a check on Mr. Frank Smith just in case.
But, Lee,
Now, come on, it isn't going to hurt to find out how he started in business.
Yeah.
Scotty, didn't you say that he wanted to have lunch with both of you today?
Yeah, that's right, dude. I told him I had to check with Lee first, so he's going to call us this morning sometime and set it up.
Well, do you think that he wants you to help him with some general legal counsel or just what?
I don't know, Gail. He didn't go into specifics. I guess that's what we're going to talk about over lunch.